So you went from this little idea to making 8 million across 4 countries in under 2 years.
Yeah, that was a ride. And I had a baby in the middle of it.
Yeah, tell me about that.
That was pretty epic. Well, so I decided I wasn't going to have a baby when I raised this massive round because I was like, I probably don't really have time for this anymore. And it'd been 2 years and I couldn't get pregnant. And so I just pulled up the drawbridge and thought nothing of it, and raised this money in the February. And then at the Easter, we went to Egypt, random, put my phone in the safe in the hotel, which I think is the last time I ever, someone else asked me, like, have you ever like done without your phone for like 3 days? And this is the last time, like 11 years ago. Look what happened. I'm not doing that again. I put it in the safe and I think we had sex once, came back, I was pregnant. And I was like, shit, what am I going to do? And this was like, I think I found out in like the May or the June. And June we opened Ireland. Yeah, August. July we opened France. August we opened Berlin. And I was like, so I just didn't tell anybody. And then like 11 o'clock at night in October, what would I have been then? Like 6 months pregnant. I'm like furiously writing like Zendesk tickets because we had just all these customer tickets in the dark for some reason. And Jules sort of comes sauntering in and sits down. And she's like, hey. And I just burst into tears.
Oh, gosh.
And she's like, oh my God, what's wrong? I was like, I'm pregnant. And she's like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, it's not fucking amazing. And I think I'd just been in complete denial. I hadn't told anyone. I'd obviously told Dave, but I hadn't told anyone else. And then I had to like try and unpack that with the investors. And that went awfully wrong, like really, really wrong. And then, yeah, just like I had a baby and then 2 weeks later I was back at work. I was on a plane to Munich to raise a Series B.
What was
watching Harper sleep as an infant on my like monitor on my phone.
And I suppose like even with the timings of it, as an entrepreneur, you can't control too much the speed of things. If something starts taking off, there's some things you can do, but you were on a trajectory at that point that you couldn't really just jump off and stop for a bit.
No.
So what was going through your head at that time?
I can't have this baby. Can I send it back? Just like
go back to Egypt.
Can we just press pause
redo the holiday?
On this entire thing, please? I mean, like the bad blood with the investors was like really hard. I think that definitely put pressure on me to come back to work before I was ready.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that I went to Munich to raise a round of money when she was like 3 weeks old, I feel quite ashamed of myself for not pushing back on that. I had to go to therapy and have quite intense therapy when Harper was about 4 years old because I felt like I hadn't bonded with her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's all right. So I said I wasn't going to do that with the second, and I didn't. I had like 3-4 months off with that one. It's just the fact I had to go to therapy, like to kind of deal with the fact that I felt like I'd been a shit mum. And then when when you unpack all of that, you realize like I wasn't a shit mum. I was just put into this impossible position.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know, for like female founders. There is no legislation between you and your investor. It's not like you're an employee and you've got like some grievance. Like you can't do any of that. It was just like, you know, they told Jules that she wasn't allowed to get pregnant for 12 months.
Was that a thing?
Well, I mean, that's what they did. That's what they did. And I was just like, you just wouldn't be able to do that in a normal dynamic, but you can.
I don't think I've ever made that comparison before between the investor situation and an employee. And that is mega, isn't it? Because if we're wanting women to become entrepreneurs and to go for things and not play small, but we can't control all these things that happen in our lives. You can't control when you're pregnant always. It's not something you can just switch on and off.
But also,
for many women.
I think the other thing is, for me as well is that like we don't see the economic benefit of children, right? Like we need people to like power an economy, and those people come out of women, and it's like you are doing like a societal good by having children and raising good, industrious, you know, well-meaning citizens. And like that whole thing, we are made to feel like we're an inconvenience.
Yeah.
And I think that is what's really hard. And so that's why I'm not surprised we don't have more female founders, because it's fucking hard. Like it is really hard. I mean, I'm on my own now, raising 2 children, doing 4 jobs, you know, and that is like, that's a hard juggle. That's a really hard juggle, whether you're, you know, a solo entrepreneur or even just like a female employee trying to like, it's just really tough. And I don't think there's a real proper understanding of, and I'd love to do, you know how they always come up with a, like if women's domestic work was included in the GDP and all this kind of stuff. I'd love someone to go away and research the economic benefit for women having children and the, you know, the GDP contribution, because I think if we started to frame it in economic terms, men actually might be a bit more forgiving.